thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about whiteout. So first of all, Tiffany, I'll go to you. Can you tell me a bit about what whiteout is all about?
So whiteout is basically about a set of friends who are helping their close friend pull off basically the biggest apology after she messed up with her girlfriend. And it all takes place in Atlanta, Georgia, during a epic snowstorm. And if you know anything about the South, they don't really do well in the snow. So it's a lot of your favorite type of romantic tropes happening within the snow during the holiday season.
Okay, and you've all written it together. So I want to ask, and I'm going to put this question to each of you in turn, if you don't mind, is how you guys came together to, first of all, write Blackout, and then to continue to write a different story, a new story in Whiteout. And Tiffany, I'll come to you first again.
Well, we all blame Dhonielle for pulling us into this, roping us into this. She could probably tell the story better, but her niece was watching, some Netflix shows and was noticing how there was never a Black girl at the center of being like, the love interest. And like, she was like, where is that? And Dee was like, you're right. And so she came to us and said, we need to write, a sort of epic love tale together. And the only way that I could kind of like see it for me, because I'm, movie background, is like, oh, so it's like a Love Actually, like a Valentine's Day. And that's exactly how we formulated this plan, where all the characters would be interconnected through this one sort of storyline that took place during Blackout in New York. And then we loved it so much, we decided to do it again.
And then we did Black people in the snow, because that's cute,
Yeah.
It's cute. And we gotta look, really pretty, the aesthetics of it all. But this time we wanted to feel like a puzzle, right? We've got all of these teenagers who are snowed in or stuck in a place. But we've got one character who's really messed up, right, with their girlfriend, and she's got to pull off the most epic apology of her life. And all of her friends, we see this friendship love too, decide to help. So I called it leadership skills. I just called everyone, was like, we should do this thing. It'll be so much fun. And then we just did it again. And we have two Christmas queens, which is so funny. Our two Jamaicans, they're like, we love it, the snow. And I'm like, y'all don't even want to play in the snow, but okay. So we did that for the second book, because it'll be cute. But yeah, I think I just recruited everyone. I just was like, hey friends, let's hang out.
And Nicola, how did it feel, Nicola, when you were asked to do this? At any point were you like, why doesn't she just write a book by herself? Like, why she recruited me into it? Why am I being roped into this? I've got things to do. Did you ever think that, Nicola or Angie?
I mean, no, I would never think that. But I mean, we all know, writing books is lonely, right? You're basically a troll in your office doing it by yourself. And we all have our individual books. And so doing this together is so much more fun. We get to push each other, make each other's works better. You get to be inspired by your fellow writers, which is nice, right? We get to be working at the same time that each other's working in the world and making these things. And that's kind of beautiful. So no, it never occurred to me to be like, no, I want to stay a troll in my office.
And the timing of it happened during the pandemic, which was so isolating already. And then you're isolated in writing. So, when Dhonielle proposed this group project, this is like the first group project I was cool with doing, because it was such an isolating time. And it was nice to work on something with other people and collaborate, even virtually.
Mm-hmm. And were they a good motivating group, Angie? Because you said you've turned down other groups before. What was it about this group of women that gave you the, I really want to be in this Destiny's Child of writing? What was it about this group of women that you were like, yes, I'm going to Beyonce this whole thing?
Well, I was a TLC fan, no shade to Destiny's Child. So let's say that. But I like them, we all like each other. I love their books. It just felt right. And also thinking about it too, knowing that all of us write differently, it was like, oh, this should be interesting. Let's see how this goes. Because we all write like different, even though we all write young adult books, we all write different types of stories, you know. Dhonielle does fantasy books and stuff like that. You know, Tiffany does horror and thriller. Nikki does all the kissing. You know, Ashley does emo. Nic does a variety of different things, you know. And then there's me. And so I was like, okay, this should be cool to see. But we all like each other. We all enjoy each other's company. We had a group chat before Dhonielle even proposed this. So it just felt like the right thing to do.
Mm. You said though that you all write different genres, and in Waya actually there's sort of like a way at the end that people can kind of figure out who wrote which bit. But how do you bring it all together into this a beautiful piece of work when it's all these different genres and all these different themes going through your writing? Angie, I'll come to you on that one. How, you know, I guess that's the episode's job, but how does that all come together in the end?
Well, it's about collaboration. It's about knowing your strengths. It's about knowing what each of us thrives in the most, and going to each other and letting each other edit our stuff. You know, the thing that always gets me about writing is that people think, oh, it's just you, it's just you. No, you know, even when you're writing a book by yourself, you're technically collaborating with your editor. But in this case, I got to collaborate with 5 other authors who do excellent work, and they have excellent strengths. And so it was just about, you know, depending on each other and getting feedback from one another. And one of y'all can jump in too. See, just like that. Like,
you said it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we did a lot of editing. So, you know,
editing.
Everyone sent their stuff to me, and then I would put it together, and then I would be like, okay, Ashley, you know, what is missing? And then we would go back and shuffle, and then we would go to our primary editor, Rosemary Brosnan at HarperCollins, and she would rake us through the coals, over the hot coals, and make us redo it. And so, and we just did that over and over again till we got it right.
Now, Blackout is being made into a movie by the Obama's production company, and that's going to be out on Netflix, which we're very excited about. Will Whiteout get the same treatment? Are we fingers crossed that will happen?
I mean, from your lips to God's ears.
I said it.
Follow Obama.
Yeah.
Follow Obama. Follow Obama.
Well, they're already fans, so it would absolutely make sense, wouldn't it, to make the next book?
It would.
Yeah, and if they don't, then don't worry, we'll write to them. That's absolutely fine. Was it difficult to come from, so you guys write, obviously you write separately and you write together. Was it a real change of pace to go back from writing separately to writing together for Whiteout again after you had a break after writing Blackout? Nicola, I'll put that one to you. Was it difficult to get back into that headspace of collaborating again?
No, I mean, it was, I think people ask us this question a lot, and it's really easy, actually. Like, it's a pleasure, first of all, like to go back from, as I say, writing by yourself to writing with 6 women or 5 women that you admire a lot. And it was pretty easy because, you know, Dhonielle and Ash too, like they really pull us all together. So we each do our chapters, and then they go back in and like make it make sense, right? So the answer to the previous question is that we really edited the shit out of it, right? Dhonielle like made it make sense. So it seems so seamless because they fixed it. But no, I mean, for me, and I think for everyone, it was easy to slip back into that. It's just so nice to be able to do it.
And is there a part of the book, a chapter or a scene that you think really describes it or really sort of encompasses it for readers? Tiffany, I'll put that one to you.
You know, I'm gonna pitch this over to Nic or Ashley, just so I know we're limited on time. Nic, Ash?
I wouldn't say necessarily that there's a part that like encompasses the whole book, which actually was the point, right? I think that it was important for us to show as many well, not one that doesn't spoil the whole thing. I'll put it like that. But the goal of the book was to show as many love stories as possible, you know, among as many different iterations of Black teenhood as possible. So I will say, I do think that the crux of Whiteout is friendship love. There's so much in this book that can't happen without the love of friends. And, you know, we kind of put our subliminal messaging in there about making sure you're good to your friends as we try to be good to each other.
Yeah, that's a really important point, isn't it? And sometimes friendship love is lost in books. I'm really, really glad that you guys managed to get that in there. I know we only have a couple of minutes left, so I'm going to ask you guys to celebrate someone who is an artist, a writer, a filmmaker that you really, really love right now and you'd like to celebrate. Tiffany, I'll go to you first.
I was thinking of Maisha Green, who did Lovecraft Country, because we just saw Jonathan Majors last night and he's like so super dreamy. So I'm like, that's all I've been thinking about, honestly. Yeah, so sorry. That's like the first thing that came to my head. I'm sorry. It should be an author, but you know.
No, that's fine. Dhonielle, what about you?
I'm gonna say Elise Bryant. She's another Black YA writer who writes really great, awesome romances with Black teens falling in love. Super sweet.
And Nicola?
I'll say Talia Hibbert, who is writing YA. She's an adult romance author. I've read all her books, but I'm on deadline, so I'm like reading for comfort, and I'm reading her books again, and they're so swoony and also very sexy. So I'll say her.
And Ashley, what about you?
I would say Tia Williams. She wrote the romance that I cannot stop thinking about, 7 Days in June. And I think I'm going back and I'm like reading her backlist as well. And I just think she's a beautiful writer. She's super funny. And yeah, she just does it. She has a very unique, I think, style of telling stories.
And Angie.
Oh,
sorry.
It doesn't have. It can be just a creative, not just an author. Quinta Brunson. I'm so happy for Quinta. She created Abbott Elementary, and now it's like this huge hit. But I remember when Quinta was doing like viral videos on the internet. Like he got money.
Oh, God,
I remember that.
He does. They were so funny, yo.
So to see her come up, it's like, she just won a big award. She's on all these covers right now. And it's like she did it. She did it her way. Same with Issa Rae. Like both of them started out on the internet creating what they wanted to create, and now they've made names for themselves, and I love that.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a new author in town. His name is Nick Brooks. He just released a middle grade and has a YA coming out next year. Shout out to Cake Literary. And the book is called Promise Boys. So the young adult is Promise Boys. Anyway, I'm shouting out Nick Brooks because like I'm actually really excited. As a mother of boys, I'm really excited that I'm gonna have more YA books aimed at Black boys that I can like put into my kids' hands, because there just aren't many people writing those.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely agree with you on that one. We're almost out of time, but just remind us again about Whiteout, when it is out, and what readers can hope to take away from this book. Angie, I'll go to you on that one.
I would say Whiteout is a celebration of love, period, whether that's romantic love, family love, friendship love. At the core of that story is love. And, I think it's one of those books that if you're in a reading slump, I think it'll get you out of it. And it's also one of those books that if you need to be reminded that the world is not just bleak, it will do that for you. So it was a project of love for us, and we hope that our readers feel it right back.
I think it's out already.
Yes.
Yeah, out now.
Amazing. And we all could do with a bit of love, that is for sure. Thank you very much, guys.